Yo, hey, what's up, guys? In this video, it's going to be two parts. I want to go ahead and show you how I actually organize my comic book collection, vintage and modern comic books. Now, a couple things I do want to discuss, guys. First off, there's this program that I use that you see here in front of you. This program is called Comic Collector. You can actually, if you want, guys, I'll put a link in the bottom. You can actually check it out yourself if you go to collectors.com. That's collectors with a Z.com. Check it out. They have various types of apps which you can use to organize your comic books, your movies, your books, different types of apps that can actually come in handy when it comes to organizing and figuring out what you have in your collection. And I'm a perfect example of that. Okay, in my comic book collection, guys, after I hit about 150 comics, I started to forget and not remember what comic book, or at least what condition I had that comic book in my collection, basically. So there were a lot of instances where I would have doubles or sometimes triples of a comic book just because I liked the cover, and or I thought because, I thought I already had a fine condition. I wanted to upgrade, so I ended up having 2 mints and a fine. So it was getting out of hand for a while. So I got this program a few months back, and I love it. I've been using it ever since. Unfortunately, I can't really say my comic book collection is as big as some of you out there, thousands, thousands of comics, but I would say maybe over 400 comics. I've barely been collecting for over a year, and within this first year that I've been collecting, my comic books have grown at a staggering rate, if you want to say. Okay, so here in front of you guys is a perfect example. This is just a small piece of my vintage collection, which I've been updating manually whenever I have time. Now, what I mean by manually, unfortunately, there really isn't any fast option that you can actually update your comic book collection. It does take a lot of time. But one good thing, guys, with this Comic Collector program, it uses a website which has, I'll explain to you a little bit more in a bit. It basically links your comic book. If you have a specific comic book, like for an example, this Fantastic Four number 26, it actually gathers all this information, so you don't have to type in, okay, the writer, Stan Lee, penciler, Jack Kirby. You can do that. You can actually type them in manually, but instead I use collectors.com, their database website. Right here, guys. This is pretty much database that you see. Whatever comic book that is either new or old, it's here in this database. Okay, so here it is, guys. I want to go ahead and go to Fantastic Four Volume 1, and everything is by numeral here, numeric order. So, of course, the very first page is the most current. Okay, Volume 1, of course, ended at issue 416, and then it jumped into Volume 2 and Volume 3. So since my comic book is number 26, I'm going to go ahead and jump back back pages here. Go to page number 8, I believe it is. Scroll down. Nope. It's the last page, page 9. Okay, number 26. There it is. Click on it. Boom. Now, what this program does, guys, it actually, like I mentioned, it links this data over to this website. Okay, it pulls it, it extracts the data. So, one good thing, it's not this program right here, Comic Collector, it's not dependent on that website. So let's say if you don't have the internet, like, well, I don't have internet, or, I lost internet, will I lose my data? No, it just extracts it, it pulls it. So let's say if, for example, you have your laptop with you and you just don't have internet, that's fine. You can still view your comic books because it's not dependent on internet connection. It just pulls the data from it. So for an example, it pulled the picture, it pulled all of the credits, the characters, and a small little synopsis of the comic book, of what it's about. And it actually put it directly, bam, in my database. So that's a really, really cool and easy concept to do. So it allows you to store comic books pretty easily from your collection. Okay. One good thing about this, guys, it allows you to customize. Let's say you don't like, whatever information's on here. You don't like it, or you want to add your own picture, your own, you want to take a picture of your comic book because it's CGC'd or autographed. You can actually edit that and you can put your own little picture. It allows you to put even a picture of the back page, because we all know there's, there's second printing, third printings. They may be the same cover, but just a different back cover. So it allows you, let me see if I can pull that up. Let me go to a different database here. I have, again, this is my vintage database, and I have a modern. Okay. So here's my Animal Man, and there it is. See, allows you to put only 2 pictures on there. Now this program, guys, it's fairly large. It allows for a lot of customizing. So if you're into, having your own background, different colors, go ahead. It allows you to do that. With me, I'm pretty simple. I keep everything pretty simple and plain. Now I want to just stay in path here, guys. Stay in subject. It allows you to create multiple databases. As you can tell, I switched over from my vintage over to my modern. So there's really no limit that I've seen or have come across to the amount of comics that you can actually put into this program. Okay, I keep the databases separate only because it allows me to search faster and organize a little bit better, because again, I try to keep all of my modern into one area in my room and then my vintage into another. So I figured, you know what, I'll keep separate databases. This is my modern database. As you can tell, there is a lot of comics. Comic titles: Wolverine, Incredible Hulk, Spawn, Superboy, Swamp Thing, X-Men, Venom. There's a lot. Okay, now in my comic book collection, guys, I have a little bit over 400 comics that I actually collected over the year, this first year, and in this is only about 270. So I still have, almost half or close to half of my collection to input in this program. Now, again, this is really cool, guys, when it comes to organizing and finding out what you have in your comic book collection. For an example, with this program, you can actually find comic books really quickly. Now, in some of my comics that I have autographed, I put a quick tagline or a tag name. In all of my autographed comics that I have in my database, I added the word autograph to the title. And if I do a search for autograph, it pulls up all the comic books that I have autographed. And here are the titles. There's Batman. See? Batman right here. There's a picture that I took with my digital camera and a close-up of the autograph. This Batman #1, of course it's the second series that just came out, was autographed by Greg Capullo. Autographed right there, gives a quick synopsis, and of course there's Greg's name, the actual penciler, and of course the cover artist. So all the information is here. It allows you to find your data, find it quickly. And this comes in handy, especially when you're looking up a certain artist, a certain writer, or just a certain comic that you're not too quite sure if you have. And again, this comes in handy, especially when you're looking for like an artist. You're going out to a convention. Oh, do I have any Greg Capullo comics? You type in his name, you hit enter, boom, it pulls up a list of every single comic Greg has either drawn on or did a cover art on. It pulls up everyone in your collection. So then all you have to do is like, oh sweet, I have this one. Ooh, I like this cover, let me pull this one out, and it allows for that option. In my next video, guys, what I want to go ahead and do, I want to go ahead and talk about how to utilize this program to import or export your data into a mobile device, a mobile phone, or even your iPad, which I use on the go when I go to conventions or comic book stores. So stay tuned for part 2 shortly. Thanks for watching. Peace.